1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters don't move. Whatever click you choose, you say what's cracking YouTube. It's your boy 16 to Life, man. And today we got a special guest. We got the one, we got the only Banky Pound in the house, man. How you doing, Banky?
Salute, TBP. Stand up, man. I'm doing great, Soldier. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. You know, no complaints, man. You already know any day on this side of the gate is a great day, you know.
You better believe it is. You better believe it.
Yeah, hey, so I appreciate you for coming in here and tapping in with me. I'd always been getting a lot of requests to do a story about when they had the 9/11 terrorist attack, and what I remembered happening. You know, my day was brief, so I'm gonna just put a compilation together, man. So I appreciate you to come on here and share your experiences from that day and stuff like that. So take us back to everything that you could remember that day during the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
Yeah, what year did that happen?
I think it was September the 9th, 2011.
Yeah, 2011.
But I'm just talking about, you know, if you could remember that particular day, if
yeah, I could remember the definitely the day, the incident. I'm just trying to remember exactly where I was in 2011. It'll pop in my head in a minute, but yeah, I remember that day, man. I remember that day clear as I don't know what, because you know, I never really watched the news and stuff like that when I was in there. It was just, you know, too gloomy for me. So I'm on the news dude, but a lot of dudes, you know, like I say, that's how they do their bit. They watch the news all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Later on, I started watching like CNN and stuff like that, you know, Wolf Blitzer, you know, Situation Room and stuff like that. When I was getting into, you know, learning a little bit about the politics or whatnot. But when something like that happened, and when that happened, I can remember, you know, dudes was running to their cells and stuff. And I'm, you know, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? And it was like, man, you know, they attacking the towers, man. They crashing planes into the towers, right? I said, like, who? And then, you know, I can remember going in there and it was crazy, man, just to look at that and see that on TV, man. Saw all of the smoke, the people running around, you know. Then and I think, if I ain't mistaken, they locked us down. It's locked down, everybody locked down. So it was kind of like a odd type feeling, man, you know. And I can remember dudes, you know, being annoyed, man. Dudes was paranoid, they was scared, you know, because it's like, you know, is this attack or are we going to war? You know, I mean, what's going on? You know, so dudes was curious because, you know, a lot of people don't know, but they got this long standing law, man, that says, like, if we go into world war and you locked up, you know, you really consider the enemy of the state and they can actually execute you, you know. Right. Yeah, you know, I didn't believe that at first neither, but I believe somebody showed me the case law before. But it's like if they invaded U.S. soil or something, you know, like a major country or whatever, and we was in war and things, they could actually execute you if you was incarcerated and convicted of a crime or you know, of your country. So dudes was getting extra paranoid. Then, you know, I was around a lot of dudes that was from New York. They was paranoid. They was mad. They was snapping out, kicking the doors and stuff because they wanted to get out and call home and check on their peoples. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they wanted to check on their peoples, you know, and we locked in because, you know, they consider that like a catastrophe. So, you know, other people, like I'm assuming the ones that work there, they got to go check on their people. They call, so the staff get low. So, we always bear the blunt of that. We behind the door. So being behind the door, man, I can remember watching the events all day, as it went on, as it unfolded for days and weeks, just watching it, consuming it all. And just going through your mind like, man, this is crazy because, we locked up and something like this could happen. Something like this can affect your family. Something like this can affect the world. And, you stuck. You ain't even a part of it. You can't do nothing. You feel like helpless and like lost, man. And it's crazy. And then, like I say, divorces, you know how it is when everybody hollering and screaming and talking, giving their opinions. Man, this crazy. We get ready to go to war. Oh yeah, man. Blah blah blah. I mean, it just was nonstop. I didn't personally have no conversations with anybody about it. I was just processing it all in my head, like like what the world coming to, what what I'm saying, what's going on. And I never understood I never understood that, man. The concept of a suicide bomber, man. What can you tell a dude to make him or convince him to go kill yourself, for what I'm saying, for the cause.
I was gonna say, did you ever happen to later on have any conversations with any Muslims there and hear their opinion on how they felt about it?
Yeah, that was weird too. That was kind of weird too. That created a lot of tension because it's like, people is looking at the Muslims kind of, sideways. You know what I'm saying? Like, what they gonna do? Is they gonna, you know what I'm saying? They gonna, pop off or something like that. But I think a lot of the Muslims that was in the system, especially the ones that I was around at the time, they didn't associate themselves with that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't associate themselves with that. They was like, boom, it's like that's a different type, you know what I'm saying? There's different type of Muslims. You got the Sunni, you got the nation, you got all these different types of Muslims. And I think they disassociated themselves with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was a misconception on a lot of people's part that, they did that so all Muslims are condemned. You know what I'm saying? And I think that type of generalization is bad no matter what the situation is. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point.
Yeah, that's a bad way to put a blanket over everybody, because if that's the case, that's the way that we always feel like, you know what I'm saying, you do something or I do something, so then you say all black people like this, or some white people do something, all white people like that. You can't really do that. These people have their own individual agenda, they have their own individual way of thinking, and just because they believe in what you believe in, their perception of what they believe in may be different than your perception. You see what I'm saying? This is why you got Sunni Muslims. This is why you got, Nation of Islam. This is why you got different types of religions under the same umbrella, because they don't believe in the exact same thing. It's just like when Malcolm broke from the nation, he started believing in another way. You know what I'm saying? But yet at the same time, he was still a Muslim.
Right. And that's a great point.
They practice different things. So I think the people who, created those, horrific acts, man, they was on a different level.
I appreciate you coming through, sharing your experiences with me, man. It was always a pleasure to have you and talk to you and stuff, man.
You already know, man, brothers, man, we locked in, man. When you need me, I'm there, man.
Moving along to the 911 terrorist attack. What do you recall? What do you recall about that day? And where were you at the time?
Even I was in Ironwood. I was in Ironwood Sea Yard at the time, right? I was in the cell with Easy, my older cousin. But that the day started off strange, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because usually, you know what I'm saying, I'm up, 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm up, you know what I'm saying? I'm already washed up, already, what I'm saying, brushed my teeth, got my boots on, whatever, got my shoes on, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Usually I'm up, you know what I'm saying, early, right? That day, man, you know what I'm saying, I was still in the bed, like just chilling. I got the lock in the door, right? But another thing that was strange too though is that when nobody moving, right? Because usually, they call the early workers. They send the people to the kitchen, to get, get that stuff started. People going out, to, whatever their job is, they got that early worker child, all of that. They didn't call none of that stuff, right?
Right.
And then my TV is scheduled to pop on at a certain time, and I always got my TV on the news. Uh, so that way, I'm watching the news. So when my TV pop on, man, I'm just laying in bed, man. And as soon as my TV pop on, I just see the plane, right? Hit the very first plane hit the building. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I know I didn't leave it on no movie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out, like, what am I watching? Right? I thought it was a
Mhm.
movie at first, right? Because I seen that first plane hit the building, right? You know what I'm saying? So it didn't dawn on me, man, that I was actually watching the news until that second plane hit the building. Boom. And I'm like, damn, right? And then I asked Easy, I'm like, man, you watching this? He's like, yeah. I said, man, what the hell is going on? He said, that's probably why we slammed, right? I said, slammed? He said, yeah, man, you ain't noticed, man, there ain't nobody moved. Man, we've been in this cell, man. I think at that time it was like 6 something, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? 6:30. It was almost 7, right? He said, man, ain't nobody moved. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And then
And
so and then excuse me real quick. And so for
yeah,
clarification, when you woke up, you were seeing replays of the first plane hit,
right,
and then
right.
you seen
The second
live.
one hit.
Right, okay, because you know how
Yeah,
sometimes people may miss construe stuff and be like, oh, well, how did he see this? And how did he see?
yeah.
So you were seeing the replays.
Right, right.
Right,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? So this is what I thought, because when you watching the news, ain't no if ands or buts about it. This
Right.
is
They
the news,
just
right?
right,
Nah, I didn't even know it was. I thought it was a movie.
right.
You know what I mean? And then but then, like I said, when we seen the second plane hit, you know what I'm saying? This is when you actually know it's the news, right? And the reason why I know it's the news, because now I can see the ticker tape going at the bottom,
Right, right.
right? You know what I'm saying? So then my boy Oak, I don't know if you remember Oak. Oak, he was from Fruittown Brim. He was
No, okay, I was
in
thinking somebody else.
he was 2 cells down from me, right? Then so when I'm and when Easy say that we slam, I hear Oak, you know what I'm saying, like clowning the CO about what's happening.
Uh-huh.
Right. I can hear he talking loud through the door, like talking crazy to him. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and I'm like, what? I'm like, wow, man, this is really happening. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like that. So, needless to say, they bring our trays to the door. You know what I'm saying? They got us slam and all of that. But I'm a porter in the building, so at some point in time, they gotta let me out. You know what I'm saying? To come, pick up the trash, take the trash out, and all of that, right? You know what I'm saying? So as I'm taking the trash out, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to everybody. They everybody, you know what I'm saying, came, everybody is in disbelief. Oh man, I'm saying, it's going down, and you know what I'm saying, America ain't what they thought it was. And yeah, it was a whole lot of talk, man. You know what I mean? And but I remember right after that, you know what I'm saying, I take the trash out, dump the trash, I come back in, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to go take a shower so I can go back to my cell. I'm finna go chill, you know what I'm saying? We finna be slammed for the rest of the day. And you know what I'm saying, I get baited by these 2 COs, man, about, you know what I'm saying, ah man, black people too died in the towers, and there was black people that worked up in there and they got killed too. And you know what I'm saying, you should be, you know what I'm saying, more patriotic in what's going on, you know what I'm saying, all of this old stuff, right? And that's when
What
I
what
started.
what what made them assume that you wasn't patriotic? I mean, where did that
Well,
statement come from?
well, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, you know what I'm saying? I had already been, you know what I'm saying, doing a lot of reading, right? So
Okay.
everybody knew, you know what I'm saying? Not only prisoners, right? You know what I'm saying? Not only prisoners, but even the COs knew, you know what
Right.
I'm saying, that, you know what I'm
It's-
saying, my stance as far as a black man, you know what
And
I'm saying, in America. Everybody knew. You know
and
what I
I'm
mean?
assuming that a lot of the CEOs got a lot of that information when they would periodically go through your cell. They search stuff, they look
Right.
at
It
the
was
material you read and stuff like that,
see
right?
the books and all of that. But not only that, you know what I'm saying? So I had this window cover, you know what I'm saying, of this sister, you know what I'm saying, with a big old afro, you know what I'm saying, she throwing up the black fist. So I would always put that in my window cover, you know what I'm saying, especially when I use the bathroom. And you know what I'm saying, they used to, have a fit about that. right? You know what I'm saying? They hated that picture right there, right? You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, you had, you know, so I was in at that time I was in 132. No, I was in 131. You know what I'm saying? Ed from Compton was in 132, right? So coming around, so I say 137, you had a white dude over there. You know what I'm saying? Well, 138, because Scully was in 137. So 138, you had a white dude over there. You know what I'm saying? You keep a picture in his window with a swastika, you know what I'm saying, on it. They never said nothing to this dude about that, right? You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? You know what I'm saying? I have never heard him talk about him being patriotic. You know what I'm saying? Y'all fought a war against these motherfuckers, right? You know what I'm saying? And you ain't never said nothing to him about this swastika though,
right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying? But you know what I'm saying, you want to come say something to me, you know what I'm saying, about this sister with the black fist though. Right.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So everybody knew, you know what I'm saying, the COs knew, you know what I'm saying, I was pro black, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I was really, really on that. Right. They like I said, they seen the books, you know what I'm saying? They used to hear my conversations, you know what I'm saying, some of the things I would say, you know what I'm saying, they knew, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and just like I said, they baited me into this conversation, right? You know what I'm saying? Because they knew I wasn't going back down from the conversation. I didn't really care, you know what I'm saying, how you felt about it, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, needless to say too, man, you know what I'm saying? I've never been, even before I was a Muslim, I've never been uh uh a
pro
fan
America.
of well, I've never been that neither, but I've never been a fan of Bin Laden,
Right,
right?
okay,
Ever. You know what I'm saying? I never liked this dude, man. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I didn't like this dude, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember, you know what I'm saying, the embassy bombings in Africa. You know what I'm saying? You had two of them. You had one in Kenya and you had one in Tanzania, right? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Africans got killed, you know what I'm saying, in those bombings, right?
right,
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, they of course they said that Bin Laden, you know what I'm saying, was responsible for it, right? You know what I'm saying? But I just remembered that just left a bad taste in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? When did, you know what I'm saying, it become okay, you know what I'm saying, for Africans to be collateral damage, you know what I'm saying, in your war against America? You would never get me to, you know what I'm saying, to co-sign on that. I never agree with that, you know what I'm saying, at all. Right.
right,
So
okay.
I had hatred, you know what I'm saying, for this man since then. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll never, you know what I'm saying, allow something like that, you know what I'm saying, to, you know what I'm saying, be okay.
So by you, being privy to all this knowledge and having a deep understanding of America, and some of the things that was perpetrated on Africans in America, how did you feel about the when you learned about the World Trade Center
To
bombing
be,
or attack?
yeah, to be honest, man, you know what I'm saying? I could really care less, right? You know what I'm saying? I didn't care one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Just to be honest, you know what I'm saying? I know, you know what I'm saying, one of the arguments that they have is, I mean, well, black people die too. You know what I mean? And I say, listen, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm not an advocate, you know what I'm saying, for the death of any, you know what I'm saying, black life, you know what I'm saying, whether I like them or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an advocate for that, right? I used to be. I said, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Not now, you know what I'm saying? And I know never will be moving forward. I said, but at the same time, right? You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't care, you know what I'm saying, if America falls, right? Because, you know what I'm saying, I don't see the downfall for me and my people and my family. I don't see the downfall, you know what I'm saying, if America does fall. I don't see the downfall for us. I really don't. You know what I mean? So in my mind, you know what I'm saying, either things is going to either get better or it's going to stay the same, right? I don't really see the downfall for us if America falls. So when, you know what I'm saying, you had these, and then, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, you know what I'm saying, by far. You know what I'm saying? But I have read those so-called conspiracy books, right? I'm not totally convinced, you know what I'm saying, that uh America was complicit, you know what I'm saying, in that attack on itself,
right,
right? I'm just going by the information that was presented, right?
right,
I'm
right.
not I'm not totally convinced that America was complicit in that. Because you know what I'm saying? Because even though they talk about, you know what I'm saying,
So are you
these
saying that you're not totally convinced that America wasn't complicit in that?
that they wasn't. Yeah, I'm
Right.
not
Okay.
yeah, that they wasn't. I think I truly believe that they was,
Right.
right? You know what I'm saying? So uh
And so let me ask one quick question, because of course, you know, you're gonna have some people that's saying, well, if those are your feelings about America, why not leave? Why not leave America? You know, move to another country. What are your sentiments about that?
Yeah, so like I was saying, man, don't think that I haven't thought about that, because I have, right? You know what I'm saying? I actually, you know what I'm saying, have considered that, and I'm actually still considering that. The only thing is, man, you know what I'm saying, is that, you know what I'm saying, I have a family here, right? You know what I'm saying? And as much as uh I think I would benefit from leaving and going to, you know what I'm saying, going back to the motherland, right? I think I would benefit from that. As much as I think I would benefit from that, I don't think my family will benefit from that. Right.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So I think my family benefit from me being here. My family benefit, you know what I'm saying, from my intervention. My family benefit from my leadership. You know what I mean? And then just be honest with you, man, it would break my mother's heart. You know what I'm saying? It'd break my grandmother's heart. You know what I
right,
mean? Like that. So, you know what I'm saying? And then after, you know what I'm saying, being gone all of that time, right? You know what I'm saying? Then and just to be gone again, you know what I'm saying, after that, you know what I'm saying, I would never put them through that. Right.
right. Most
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, just and then again too, right? You know what I'm saying? I love my people, man. You know what I'm saying? So if my people go, I go. Right? My
Right,
people stay, I stay. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean I'm not going, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to feel the way that I feel and say what I, you know what I'm saying, say what's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? And I learned this after the fact, right? Because like I said, I wasn't a Muslim at the time. But at that time, you know what I'm saying, during 9/11, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the Muslim brothers, especially the leadership of the Muslims in California, they came and took those brothers to the hole, right? You know what I'm saying? And they kept those brothers in the hole, you know what I'm saying, for like years, you know what I'm saying, and didn't let those brothers out, man, you know what I'm saying, until later on, right? But they came and put those brothers in the hole. And I found this out, you know what I'm saying, after I left, after I got kicked out of Ironwood, they sent me to Centinela, and I went to Kern Valley after, Corcoran after Centinela. I found this out while I was in Corcoran, that a lot of those brothers, you know what I'm saying, that were Muslims, you know what I'm saying, ended up in the hole, you know what I'm saying, during 9/11. Right? They
now
came took a lot of brothers to the hole.
do you believe it was because the prison administration deemed them radical, or just being Muslim alone?
So for some of them, it was just being Muslim alone, but the 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 leadership, they deemed them to be radical, even though that they wasn't.
um,
Right?
I get asked a lot, what was it like when 9/11, the terrorist attacks happened?
It was a lot of cheering going on. Tell the truth, a lot of inmates. It was a few inmates actually went to the hole for it, but saying get them MF, get them. They was
So okay, so can you kind of like take us back as far as you can remember to that first day, like where you were? Were you at work already when it happened? Were
I was
you
at
all
home that day when it
okay?
happened. I went back to work the next day.
Uh-huh. And so when it happened, I was in Ironwood and they locked us down. So when you went back to work, was the facility on lockdown, or how did it go up? Where were you at? Which facility were you at the
I
time?
was at New Folks, man. I was working in the hole,
Uh-huh.
and it was on everything. The hole was locked down. Everything was locked down because they didn't nobody know what was going to be next. So
Right.
they locked us down.
Uh-huh.
But you still heard them in the facilities in the sales cheering, saying get them LMF, get them. For some reason when inmates go to prison, they come anti-United States. I never understood that. They come anti-United States. The United States did me wrong. In some cases I agree they did you wrong, but not in all cases. Some cases the paperwork speaks for itself.
Right. So when the prisoners were saying get them MFs and stuff like that, you took it. They was basically on the side of the terrorists, rooting against America and stuff.
Yes, yes, that's how it was. That's
And
how it
so,
was.
as a former military man, how did you feel about that?
You can feel a certain way, but you don't put it into words. You just keep it to yourself
Uh-huh.
because it's a whole lot of people that died for freedom in this country. Protest against America, do it. It's people die so they can do that. And you put your life on the line so people can do that.
Right.
So you kind of like, I'm glad you got that freedom, but sometimes you need to think about what you cheering for, what you disrespecting, or what you protesting.
The crackers let me out the gate, now the pressure's on. We about to get this shit straight like a pressing cone. The wrong cat to get aggressive on. I bring the bitch up out of niggas while you think they got them dresses on. My reach long and that's the best type. To have some dirty white boys come and smoke you like a meth pipe. And leave your chest bright red like a fire truck. Kicking your mom's door at night, nigga, and tie her up. I'm wild as fuck and I'm respected by the new youth. I put this pistol in their ear like a Bluetooth. I blow their brains on they new coupe. And have red everywhere just like a function full of soup whoops. Tell your troops I deal with beef like a butcher. My 4-5 pump more guys than Ashton Kutcher. Line pusher, quick to bury your clown, nigga. I stayed in the park like the merry-go-round. Get it?
The game greasy, bitch, the game need me. Oh, you niggas don't know my name. The game greasy, bitch, the game need me. I'm out here doing my thing. The game greasy, bitch, the game need me. I swerve in my own lane. The game greasy, bitch, the game need me.